Yes. It's steel.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Keeping it real.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven and this is Steel Keeping It Real. So you know what today is. That's right, it is BTS Saturday! And on BTS Saturday, what I like to do is go back to where it all began and work their albums and their songs in chronological order. If a new song happens to come out, then I'll do that one, and then I'll go right back to where I left off. Now, that happened with Proof. I went ahead, that came out recently. I went ahead and did all those songs, and then I came back to where I left off, which was at the end of Map of the Soul 7. And then I found another list that had another album in there, and I don't think it mentioned this album. And that's the one I had been following this whole time, and I thought I was doing good. And so I had to go back and do BTS World Soundtrack. And then I find out, and after doing Map of the Soul, I was drained. There's 20 songs on Map of the Soul, and I do 3 songs every Saturday of BTS. So that took me roughly 7 weeks to get through Map of the Soul. And what do I find out? There's another Map of the Soul, and this is Map of the Soul 7, The Journey, the Japanese album. And there are some new songs on the Japanese album. But I kind of need to take a break from that right now because, there are certain things that I discovered. One of them was a suggestion, which I'm going to do the next video, and that's J-Hope's new video that he released just a day ago. So look forward to that. But I was going through a list, or watching a list, almost like something in the background while I was working, and it was K-pop's top first generation songs, or something like from the first generation. And I kind of get it now. Looking back at K-pop first generation, it's almost like looking in the mirror of what we were going through in the 90s. It's almost like an exact opposite of the style that was going on, the types of songs that were going on here in the US. You have some guys sounding and looking like, Backstreet or NSYNC or 98 Degrees. You guys have plenty of guy groups trying to do that same like pop sound. And then you had the girls sounding like Britney Spears, maybe a little bit of Christina, and then you had all these, and it's like, wow, and they're so dated now looking back at them. And, those songs of the 90s, that is after I kind of stopped listening to pop music, and I was only listening to it because the chicks dug it. But it wasn't something that I was buying. Like Backstreet Boys, of course, everybody knows most of the Backstreet songs. And was Backstreet there? I think when I saw New Kids on the Block, was Backstreet there? About 3 years ago, I saw New Kids on the Block, Salt and Pepper, Naughty by Nature, Debbie Gibson, and Tiffany. But I don't think Backstreet was there. But it was that kind of from that era, and New Kids on the Backstreet and all that, and it just it wasn't our biggest shining moment, but it was a boy band or a single girl. There weren't a lot of girl groups besides, Destiny's Child, Spice Girls, things like that. So in getting to what I'm trying to say is that in listening to one, I came across a group called SeotaJii and the Boys, and the song was called Come Back Home. And I was like, I heard like 2 seconds of it and I stopped it because I was like, I can do this song on Wednesdays when I do K-pop males. And then I was digging a little further, and BTS did a version back in 2021 on the 4th of July as part of those guys' 25th anniversary, and they re-recorded it with the help of what's his name? SeotaJii, and they came out with a new version, and there's a video for it, and I was like, okay, here's what I'll do. For the BTS fans, I'm going to play their version first, and then if you don't want to stick around, that's fine, but then I will be playing their the original later on in the video. I might even do it as the outro to the video, but somewhere or another it's going to be there, because I think you have to respect the original. And if they're doing a 25th anniversary at the behest of the boys and asking BTS to do it, then that ought to be honored as well. So if you like videos like this and others on my channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, because I'm doing at least 15 videos each and every week. So without any further ado, here is BTS and Come Back Home.
And here we go.
Angry, hungry, yes I'm hangry. 매일이 되뿌리, 미래 개뿌리. 나는 없었어, 그리고 또 내게조차 없었어.
아직 우린 젊기에 괜찮은 미래가 있기에. 자 이제 그 차가운 눈물을 닦고 Come back home. 무식하는 허비해 내 피땀들은 정직해. 자 이제 그 트로피에 내 이름 바꿔 Come back home. You must come back home.
떠나간 맘보다 따뜻한
You must come back home.
겹치는 인생 속에
You must come back home.
떠나간 맘보다 따뜻한
You must come back home.
나를 완성하겠어.
Come back to my home. Come back home. Come back to my home. Come back home.
겹치는 인생 속에
영광 어머니가 또 내 식구들의 배 터지게 부풀려 두려 계속 열일해 친구들 걱정도 drop it 우리들 앞길이 원해 괜찮은 미래가 있기에 자 이제 그 차가운 눈물을 닦고 come back home 왜 시간을 허비해 내 피땀들은 정직해 자 이제 그 트로피에 내 이름 바꿔 come back home You must come back home
떠나간 맘보다 따뜻한
You must come back home
겹치는 인생 속에
You must come back home
떠나간 맘보다 따뜻한
You must come back home
나를 완성하겠어 Oh, you must come back You must come back You must come back home Oh, you must come back You must come back You must come back home 'Cause I'm coming back
You must come back home
떠나간 맘보다 따뜻한
You must come back home
겹치는 인생 속에
You must come back home
떠나간 맘보다 따뜻한
You must come back home
나를 완성하겠어
Come back to my home Come back home Come back to my home Come back home
겹치는 인생 속에
Come back to my home Come back home
Come back home
Come back to my home Come back
나를
home
완성하겠어
Alright, so that was Come Back Home. So I did like it because it had some trap beats in there, but let me see. But it almost brings it back to a big thing that BTS always talks about. So here it is. Verse 1. I've seen the end of my life. I feel suffocated inside my heart. What is blocking my life is my fear towards tomorrow. Angry, hungry, yes, I'm hangry. Every day is repeating, the future is bleak. There was no me and there was no future. And then it's like, because we are still young, there is a decent future. So let's wipe those cold tears now and come back home. Why are you still wasting your time? My blood and sweat are truthful. Now let's imprint my name on that trophy and come back home. You must come back home in this rough life. You must come back home warmer than my heart which has left. You must come back home. And then a whole bunch of come back homes. And then Rap Monster comes back, Hunna Band. An art to my family, to my mother, and to make my family get stuffed till their stomachs explode. I continuously work hard. So it's that basic thing, work hard. And I'm not saying they know the cure for somebody who actually has mental issues. That would be CL. And that's MTBD, mental breakdown. I was supposed to do that song last night, but the internet went down. I was doing it at midnight. The internet went down on the very last song for Female Friday, and they said it wasn't going to come back up until 2:30. And I was like, I got to go to sleep because I have to be up at 8:30 to work. So I will do that next week. But getting back to that, BTS is always on a positive. So I'm not diminishing that. If somebody really has mental issues, they need to go to a doctor to get treated for that, and then try to get yourself on this step of waking up every day, doing something productive, and then doing something for yourself, and then see if that works. And I think the more you feel better about yourself, the more somebody else will see you looking better or feeling better about yourself, and it makes you more attractive if you are alone. So there are certain steps that one can take. So now I am going to do the SeotaJii version. Now I kind of feel I heard two, like I said, I heard two beats of that, and I thought their version is going to sound more like Cypress Hill. And if it does sound like that, I'm going to dig that too. So, without any further ado, here is, God, I have to keep looking this up. Here it is. SeotaJii and the Boys and Come Back Home.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
내겐 점점 더 크게 더해갔던 이 사회를 탓하던 분노가 맞네 증오가 됐어 진실들은 사라졌어 저 끝에서 다시 하나의 생명이 태어났고 또 다시 부모의 제압이 시작됐지 내 큰 사랑이 전혀 없는 것 내 힘겨운 눈물이 말라버렸지 무모한 거품은 날리고 주위를 둘러봐 너 기다리고 있어
근데 이제 그만 됐어 나는 하늘을 날고 싶었어
아직 우린 젊기에 괜찮은 미래가 있기에
자 이제 그 차가운 눈물은 닦고 Come back home You must go back home 떠나가 마음보다 따뜻한 You must go back home
거칠은 인생 속에
You must go back home 떠나가 마음보다 따뜻한 You must go back home
나를 완성하겠어
터질 것 같은 내 십자가 날 미치게 만들 것 같았지만 난 이제 깨달았어 아서 날 사랑했다는 것을 You must go back home 떠나가 마음보다 따뜻한 You must go back home
거칠은 인생 속에
You must go back home 떠나가 마음보다 따뜻한 You must go back home 나를 완성하겠어 You must go back home You must go back home You must go back home You must go back home
Alright, so that was SeotaJii and the Boys version of You Must Come Back Home. And honestly, I like their version better. I'm not saying before you guys start typing like, "Dear, still keeping it real," before you start doing that, I like it because when it came out, it sounded like the era, and it took me way back then. It sounded like Cypress Hill, exactly like Cypress Hill, even in some of the pronunciations and that "Be Real" sound. He was a guy from Cypress Hill that has that high-pitched voice. It sounded exactly, and then on top of that, with the video, you had them doing the dance moves of the era and wearing the clothes, but they were the good version of the clothes, with the baggy jeans and, the flannels on and the hat, all those kind of things that took me right back to the 90s. And it made me get hype. And then you had the mixing and the scratching and stuff like that that's in this. Now there might have been hints of that in the BTS one, but not as strong as it was on this one. And I understand the lyrics were changed a little bit because this one was against society, and the other one from BTS was more like a person's self-worth, how that person felt, as opposed to how society felt about that person, or how they felt about society. I could tell that there were changes somewhere in there that fit BTS's motif for their version, and then you have the one from the early 90s. But don't get it twisted. I like both versions, and I have a preference, because if you haven't watched my channel, even when I do BTS songs, the songs that lean towards hip hop, I love a lot, except for Jim and Serendipity. Don't get me started with Jim and Serendipity. But if you are still here, I thank you for staying tuned. I really do appreciate it. First and foremost, I want you guys to like the videos as much as I like making them for you. And then after that, all you need to do to help me out with the channel is to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Peace.